Imagine walking deep into a dark, damp cave 70,000 years ago. The air is freezing cold, and the only light comes from a fading fire. On the dirt floor lies the lifeless body of someone you deeply loved. For millions of years, animals simply walked away from their dead companions. They left the bodies to decay in the open elements or get eaten by predators. But on this specific day, prehistoric humans decided to do something completely different. They carefully dug a shallow grave into the hard earth of the cave floor. They gently placed the body inside, looking as if it were just sleeping soundly. Then they walked out into the wild meadows to gather thousands of colorful flowers. They returned to scatter bright blossoms of yarrow groundsel and mallows over the corpse. This incredible scene is not a poetic fiction or a modern romantic imagination. This is the groundbreaking archaeological reality discovered inside Shanidar Cave in Iraq. For decades, scientists believed Neanderthals were brutal and brainless beasts. We viewed them as subhumans incapable of deep emotion or abstract thought processes. But the discovery of the flower burial shattered those old scientific assumptions forever. It proved that 70,000 years ago, humans already felt profound grief and love. They looked at the mystery of death and experienced a deep existential ache. Why did our ancient ancestors spend vital energy gathering flowers for the dead? A bright flower cannot feed the hungry tribe or protect them from predators. It offers absolutely zero practical utility in the harsh struggle for survival. Yet this beautiful ritual marks the exact moment that human spirituality was born. Before this, early humans only focused on the brutal physical reality of staying alive. But the flower burial proves they began to believe in something invisible and eternal. They started to wonder where the conscious mind goes after the body stops breathing. The colorful flowers were a physical bridge between the living world and the afterlife. They were trying to comfort the departed soul on its long, unknown journey. But there is a much deeper practical secret hidden beneath those ancient petals. Modern botanists carefully analyzed the specific types of flowers found in Shanidar Cave. They discovered that every single plant chosen possesses powerful medicinal properties. Yarrow is a natural antibiotic used to stop bleeding and heal deep wounds. Chamomile calms the nervous system and fights off dangerous bodily infections. Marshmallow plant soothes inflammation and helps heal severe respiratory illnesses. These were not just random pretty weeds plucked from a nearby valley. These specific plants formed the core medical toolkit of the ancient Neanderthal tribe. They knew exactly which leaf could heal a sickness or soothe a painful injury. By burying the dead with medicine, they were showing the ultimate act of care. They were giving their loved ones the tools to heal in the next world. This reveals a deep level of empathy that we thought belonged only to modern humans. It proves that early human communities took care of their sick and elderly members. They did not abandon the weak when survival became difficult and dangerous. They loved each other fiercely, and that love extended far beyond physical death. But Shanidar Cave is not the only place where the dead speak to us. In a famous archaeological site in Israel called Kafze, another mystery was unearthed. Researchers found a 90,000-year-old grave of a young prehistoric child. Gently placed in the child's lifeless hands was the massive antler of a red deer. The heavy antler was positioned carefully across the child's small chest. An antler is a powerful symbol of defense strength and continuous rebirth. Every year, deer shed their old antlers and grow brand new, magnificent ones. By placing it with the child, the tribe was wishing for a spiritual resurrection. They wanted the young soul to be safe and strong in the afterlife realm. Further away in Europe, archaeologists discovered another stunning funerary practice. They found ancient skeletons completely covered in a brilliant red powder called ochre. This reddish-brown earth pigment was packed densely around the bones of the deceased. To ancient minds, red was not just a simple color found in nature. Red is the color of warm, flowing blood and the ultimate symbol of life energy. By coating the dead in red ochre, they were symbolically giving them new life. They were painting the corpse to prepare it for a grand spiritual rebirth. It was the earliest known human attempt to conquer the finality of death. They refused to accept that a person simply vanishes into nothingness forever. Deep underground, they found another remarkable burial of two young brothers. The children were meticulously covered with thousands of polished ivory beads. It took over 10,000 hours of grueling work just to craft those tiny beads. This proves that prehistoric humans valued children deeply within their community. They did not treat young life as disposable or unimportant for survival. They showered them with massive wealth and artistic beauty, even in death. Every single bead was a physical teardrop, crystalline grief frozen in time. As we look closer at these ancient sites, a grand pattern begins to emerge. Our ancestors did not run away from the terrifying shadow of death. They confronted the dark unknown with absolute beauty and creative defiance. They chose to fight the cold, silent decay with bright, warm colors. They answered the finality of physical expiration with long-lasting art. They wrapped the lifeless, cold skin with protective medicinal plants and herbs. This is the moment Homo sapiens truly transformed into a spiritual species. We became the only animal on Earth that remembers and honors the dead. We refuse to let our loved ones rot like fallen leaves in the wild forest. The flowers of Shanidar Cave were the absolute foundation of all human religion. They evolved into the towering stone pyramids built by the Egyptian pharaohs. They became the majestic marble mausoleums erected for ancient, powerful emperors. They transformed into the solemn green graveyards we quietly visit today. Every time you place a fresh rose on a modern granite tombstone, you are repeating a sacred ritual started by a grieving Neanderthal long ago. You are carrying a 70,000-year-old torch of pure human empathy. That ancient prehistoric love is still flowing warmly inside your heart today. Death did not break the powerful bonds of the early human family. Instead, the mystery of death bound them together tighter than ever before. It forced them to create culture symbols, language, and spiritual hope. We did not build human civilization just to find food and secure shelter. We built it to remember those we loved and lost along the long journey. The ancient flowers in the dark mud will never completely fade away. They remain forever blooming in the deep archaeological memory of our species. They prove that love was always our greatest survival weapon in the wild. From the pitch-black caves of the past to the modern concrete cities today, we are still the exact same creatures looking for light in the darkness. Next time you look at a simple flower, remember its ancient, sacred story. It was the very first tool we used to conquer the terrifying unknown.